Hey, Pedro, Diamond City Jewelers. As you know, we offer everybody the chance to get credit easily and comfortably. We also have beautiful jewelry at great prices. Maybe you don't know, we also do all types of jewelry and watch repairs. So I thought I'd take a few minutes to show you some cool little tricks that you could do at home to take better care of your jewelry and prevent any problems. Nothing worse than your lady losing her diamond, right? Or maybe your earring falls out because you didn't check the back right, or your chain falls off because you didn't check the clasp, okay? So we're gonna go into detail, simply and easily, how to just check your own jewelry, okay? So this is a loop, all right? You can come to Diamond City Jewelers and buy a loop for $10 and I'll show you how to use it. But it's pretty simple. It magnifies by 10 times the item you're looking at, okay? I wanna look through my bank account with this thing, okay? So typically, most women and or men have jewelry that has a diamond set in it, okay? So you just take the loop, you bring it up to your eye, you check, and if your prongs are bent or they're chipped up, and it might snag on shirts, you'll know that for sure, you can lose your diamond, just like the little example. So simply you would bring it in, we would reset or check your diamond, and we would tighten the prongs, pushing them back down on top of the stone. So again, if a diamond is sitting there and the prong is lifted up, this could easily let your diamond slide out. You should check it every month, every few months. You can bring it into Diamond City Jewelers. I'll personally check it for you for free, and I'll even clean it for free, okay? So when checking your prongs, you take the loop, you bring it up, you look closely, and if you see some space between the diamond or stone and the prong, you want to get that tightened right away before you lose the stone, okay? Obviously, if your ring's bent or damaged, bring it in, we can straight polish it and clean it. So just a simple tip: loop, check, prong bent, we want to get that tightened or tipped, pushed down, okay? Simple on the ring. Earrings, a lot of people come in, they've lost an earring. Horrible experience, you spent money, hard-earned money, and you lose an earring. Not fun, right? So there's a couple types. Mainly, there's called a friction. Friction back is basically there's a smooth post on it, has a little tiny notch. That notch stops the back from sliding off. Friction back, right? If that is sliding off very easily and not connecting on that little groove, bring it in and we can tighten it. You can simply tighten it yourself. You just would squeeze the little spring, put it back on, and once you feel it click, you know you're okay. If that thing's sliding on and off easily, we'll try to adjust your old one for you. But nothing worse than losing an earring, wake up, and your earring's gone, okay? There's that friction back, and now there's the screw back, all right? Screw back is pretty much what it says. It's like having a bolt, if you will, and a little nut that screws onto the earring post. So it's got threads on it. Now, sometimes what happens is the threads get ruined and they're no longer threads, so the bolt doesn't, or the nut doesn't screw on and off. So if you're finding that your screw backs aren't tightening up and you don't feel the threads engaging, just like it would be on your tire or wheel in your car, you want to come in, let's look at the threads, might need a new post, or maybe they're worn out back. So again, it's free for us to check it out for you and to help you make sure you don't lose your earrings. We spend a lot of money in investing in our jewelry and our looks. We want to take care of it, right? Just like your car, just like your health, okay? So we want to help you take good care of your jewelry here at Diamond City Jewelers, okay? So again, if your screw back is wobbling and it's not tightening and you feel it's not engaging the threads and the nut on the bolt there, come in here, let us take a look at it, all right? Nothing worse than losing some earrings or the diamond out of your ring, like we talked about. Another big one, people say, oh man, my chain fell off, or I lost my chain. There's a couple types of clasp. There's that lobster clasp, there's a spring clasp, there's others like a box and that. We can go over all that if you come into the store. But the most common will be a lobster and a spring. So most lobster clasp has an O-ring, or all lobster has an O-ring. The clasp is then, the O-ring is then soldered onto the chain. These are probably one of the strongest. The lobster clasp, of course, pulls down. They say lobster clasp. If you think about a lobster's claw, that's kind of what it looks like and kind of how it operates, okay? Now, what happens with these is sometimes pulling on the chain, taking off your hoodie, you slept in it, you pulled on it, you play a little basketball, whatever, horsing around with the kids. The lobster portion of the top gets bent up, and now there's space between the part that's clamping down and the actual clasp that's hooking over. So an easy way to adjust that is you take needle nose and you would bend that back down so that we get rid of that space that was there. Now you wouldn't lose your chain. The other reason is sometimes some jewelers don't solder the O-ring and your chain can easily come off. And the O-ring there's a little piece that's attached. You can either just tighten them or you can solder them. Pretty simple. The other simple and most common also is the spring clasp. So there's a little spring load in there. I know you can't see it that well, but it spring loaded. It comes over, it shuts, okay? So what happens sometimes, those springs will wear out and that spring doesn't load. You can lose your chain. So if you're not feeling that spring going over and closing the area where you put the chain through, come in here, we can look at it and get you a new one, of course. The other area is on the spring clasp. You can't solder this ring because the heat would make the spring explode. So you just simply would, if that is loose and there's space between the O-ring there where you tighten it, you just simply put it on your chain, take a pair of needle nose pliers, straighten it, tighten it, and you close it. So that's what you're trying to do, is close that gap so your chain can't slide out of there, okay? So simply make sure your spring is loaded and you can hear it clicking and it's engaged, that there's no space from the O-ring here so that it's on your chain securely. Again, nothing worse than wearing your chain, you go to look at it and it's gone. So we want to help you prevent that. So spring, lobster, barrel clasp, all of them have some type of adjustments. Come in, we'll go over them all in detail with you. Another thing that people like, they lose their pendant. So a pendant has a bail, okay? And what happens after years, the bail gets worn down here at the bottom, okay? Right here, and that gets worn, the chain, the pendant can break away from the bail. So you can't really fix that one yourself, but if you see it's really thin, you want to bring it in and we can repair it with a little solder. $20, $25 typically, we can just fix that for you. We get asked a lot how to clean your jewelry. Well, I'm going to show you how to do it from home and very inexpensively. Dawn soap, I know, right? The secret trick. Dawn soap cuts grease, doesn't leave a film. A little bowl of hot water, an old toothbrush, and a simple old cloth t-shirt. Let that jewelry soak, rings, chains, bracelets, gold, silver, diamonds, whatever. Let it soak for 3 or 4 minutes. Take a soft bristle toothbrush and brush out behind the stones, brush behind the earring backs. Just get your jewelry looking really nice, okay? And dry it off with a simple cloth. Again, you don't go buy all that jewelry cleaner. It's expensive and some of it has alcohol. It's not good for your jewelry. So Dawn soap, okay? You got my secret trick. Again, just come to Diamond City Jewelers, 975 Alamo Drive. We'll show you all this stuff. We'll inspect your jewelry. We'll clean it and we'll take care of you, all right? So my family and I are here for you. Just come to Diamond City Jewelers, all right? Check us out at diamondcity.biz. That's diamondcity.biz.